you a boy? Or are you a girl? In your bleach blonde hair, you look like
The early roots of punk were actually quite sexually radical and diverse. There was a lot of sexual experimentation, sexual ambivalence, of bisexuality, transsexuals.
girls in some kind of trance and your skin time.
The problem with the gay scene in the mid-'80s was that for us, the gay scene was completely bourgeois and conventional.
Gays, lesbians, bisexual, transgender people were living outside of the law. It wasn't technically illegal, but in every other way, behavior was still policed. Gender representation was still policed, not just by neighbors, friends, schoolmates, associates, but by the police. People were being arrested. My friends were being beaten up on the street. I had read a lot of situationist theory, and I had certain ideas about what happens when you push situations in a culture to the breaking point, and when you reach a point where society can't contain the contradictions any longer, it forces a change.
My philosophy of homosexuality has always been to embrace the things that make you different, to embrace the more radical aspects of gay identity. We even went as far to say in JD's, homosexual is criminal, and kind of like actually embrace the criminality of homosexuality.
Yes, tons of shock value, because it wasn't activism, it wasn't protest, it wasn't about legalities and mechanism of the state. And on the other hand, it was about culture, aesthetics, glamour, stardom, freedom, all the things that can be used as opposition to the state.
It's no mistake that in every society and every tribal structure, there are laws governing sexuality. And to us, that suggests that sexuality has in itself some power and energy, which is these societies and controllers have a vested interest in suppressing. That freedom is taken away when there is a threat. Therefore, there is a threat to control from sexuality. Therefore, it ought to be investigated and liberated.
This journey of freedom can only really begin when all are one sex, one gender, one true speech.
Queer to me means refusing to be part of the status quo, refusing to accept the mantle of so-called normalcy.
Queer means that you have sustained a period of rejection, isolation, and exclusion so profound that it marks you as an outsider forever.
The definition of punk is to subvert the dominant paradigm through art or culture, through music. And we were turning gender on its head. We were turning sexuality on its head.
Heterosexuality is the opiate of the masses. Join the homosexual intifada.
I like the idea of embracing the negative stereotypes that straight society has about homosexuals and really sticking it to them.
You know, in the 60s, when we said straight, we never meant heterosexual. We meant narrow-minded. And the gay world has gotten to be a straighter and straighter and straighter place. And I don't have any preparation or any inclination to live in a completely straight world.
It's true that there will be no revolution without sexual revolution. But it's also true that there will be no sexual revolution without homosexual revolution. Do you know what I mean?
It is so much easier for capitalism to use a female body that a man might want to sell shit than it is to use queer people and queer bodies. You know, Jack Halberstam actually has this whole riff about how, like, everything in the world can be used by capitalism to sell things except the butch lesbian body.
Don't mess with the best, don't mess, don't put me to the test before I lay you to rest. Don't get wise, bubble eyes, before we knock you down to peanut size.